Mic check 1 2. Podcasting influencers and the power of diversification. The podcasting landscape is a vibrant and ever-evolving space. While interview-style shows have long been the cornerstone of the medium, a new breed of podcasters is emerging. Influencers who are leveraging their existing audience and expertise to explore a wider range of content formats. Today, we delve into this exciting trend, exploring the reasons behind the format shift and the exciting possibilities it unlocks. Beyond the interview, catering to evolving listener preferences. 42% of podcast listeners prefer non-interview formats, according to Edison Research. The podcasting audience is maturing, and their preferences are evolving. While in-depth interviews remain a popular format, Edison Research indicates that 42% of podcast listeners now favor non-interview formats. This shift is creating an opportunity for podcasting influencers to experiment and cater to these diverse listening preferences. This diversification allows influencers to delve deeper into specific topics they're passionate about. Solo shows tap into their personal stories, expertise, and unique perspectives, fostering a stronger connection with their audience. Additionally, narrative storytelling formats like fiction podcasts or true crime deep dives are gaining traction, allowing influencers to showcase their creative talents in new and captivating ways. Repurposing power. Expanding reach beyond the podcast app. 60% of podcast listeners consume episodes on YouTube, according to Podcast Insights. The rise of video sharing platforms like YouTube is creating new avenues for reach and engagement. Podcasting influencers are increasingly repurposing their audio content into video formats, attracting a wider audience and maximizing the value of their audio content. This can be as simple as recording the podcast episode with video and uploading it to YouTube, or it can involve creating visually engaging content to accompany the audio. For instance, a travel podcast influencer might create a video montage to complement their podcast episode about a specific destination. According to Podcast Insights, 60% of podcast listeners consume episodes on YouTube, highlighting the potential of this cross-platform approach. Building communities. The power of interactive storytelling. 73% of podcast listeners value a sense of community, according to Podcast Industry Insights. Podcasting influencers are recognizing the power of fostering a strong community around their shows. This goes beyond simply promoting their podcast on social media. Many are embracing interactive elements such as listener Q&A episodes, live recordings, and audience polls. These interactive formats allow listeners to feel more engaged and invested in the podcast, fostering a sense of community. Podcast Industry Insights reports that 73% of podcast listeners value a sense of community surrounding the shows they listen to. By creating a space for interaction and discussion, podcasting influencers are strengthening their connection with their audience and building a loyal following. Monetization magic. Diversification breeds opportunity, multiple revenue streams, subscriptions, merchandise, sponsorships. The diversification of content formats also opens doors to new monetization opportunities for podcasting influencers. Subscription services like Patreon allow listeners to directly support their favorite shows with a monthly fee, often gaining access to exclusive content or bonus episodes. Merchandise sales are another avenue, with some podcasting influencers creating branded t-shirts, mugs, or other products that resonate with their audience. Of course, traditional sponsorships remain a key revenue stream, with brands recognizing the value of reaching engaged podcast listeners. By offering a wider range of content formats, podcasting influencers become more attractive partners for potential sponsors. The future of podcasting influence, a multifaceted landscape. The future of podcasting influence is brimming with possibilities. As the medium continues to evolve, we can expect even greater diversification in content formats. Interactive storytelling, educational deep dives, and immersive audio experiences are just a few examples of what's to come. Podcasting influencers who embrace this evolution and leverage their expertise across multiple formats will be well-positioned for continued success. This shift will not only benefit podcasters themselves, but also enrich the listening experience for audiences seeking a wider variety of engaging and informative content. Short and sweet. The rise of micro-podcasts, targeted content for busy listeners. Not all podcast content needs to be hour-long deep dives. The rise of micro-podcasts, episodes that are 15 minutes or less, is catering to listeners with busy schedules who crave bite-sized bursts of information or entertainment. This format is ideal for podcasting influencers who want to experiment with new content ideas or provide quick and actionable tips related to their area of expertise. Micro-podcasts are also well-suited for social media promotion, with snippets easily shared on platforms like Instagram or TikTok. Benefits of micro-podcasts. Accessibility. Micro-podcasts are perfect for on-the-go listening during commutes, workouts, or short breaks. Focus and engagement. The concise format keeps listeners engaged and ensures they retain the key takeaways from the episode. Content experimentation. Influencers can test new ideas and gauge audience reception before committing to a longer format. Social media synergy. Micro-podcasts can be easily repurposed into social media content like video summaries or audiograms, maximizing content reach. Examples of micro-podcast content: daily news updates or financial market recaps, fitness routines or healthy recipe ideas, productivity hacks or quick business tips, inspirational quotes or mindfulness exercises, short stories or comedic sketches. By embracing the micro-podcast format, podcasting influencers can cater to the evolving needs of their audience, explore new creative avenues, and establish themselves as thought leaders in their niche through bite-sized bursts of valuable content. Accessibility for all. Embracing new listening formats. Podcasts available on smart speakers and audiobooks. Podcasting is no longer confined to smartphones and tablets. The rise of smart speakers and audiobook platforms is creating new avenues for listeners to access and consume podcast content. Podcasting influencers who embrace these new formats can reach a wider audience and expand their reach beyond traditional podcast listeners. For instance, some podcasting influencers might create companion audiobooks that offer a narrated version of their podcast episode, catering to listeners who prefer an audio experience without the interview format. Additionally, optimizing podcast content for smart speakers allows listeners to seamlessly integrate podcast listening into their daily routines. The global stage. Reaching new audiences through language diversity. The podcasting landscape is becoming increasingly global. Podcasting influencers are recognizing the potential of reaching international audiences by translating their content, or even creating separate shows in different languages. This opens doors to new markets and allows influencers to connect with a wider community of listeners who share their interests. Localization efforts can extend beyond language translation. Culturally relevant topics and guest speakers can further resonate with international audiences. By embracing language diversity and cultural sensitivity, podcasting influencers can establish themselves as global thought leaders in their respective fields. The data deluge. Analytics for audience insights, understanding listener preferences, and optimizing content. In today's data-driven world, podcasting influencers are increasingly leveraging analytics tools to gain valuable insights into their audience. Understanding listener demographics, listening habits, and content preferences allows influencers to tailor their content strategy and optimize their shows for maximum engagement. For instance, data might reveal that a particular segment of a podcast episode resonates more strongly with listeners than others. This information can then be used to inform future content creation, ensuring that the influencer is delivering the type of content their audience craves. Future of podcasting influence promises a richer and more immersive listening experience for audiences, while empowering creators to connect with their communities on a deeper level. The world of podcasting influencers is a dynamic space brimming with creativity and innovation. We'll keep you updated on the latest trends, rising stars, and the ever-expanding influence of podcasting in the digital age. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the ever-evolving audio universe.